What's a hobby someone can have that is an immediate red flag? 1. Posting everything. Every single thing on social media. 2. My old roommate used to go out driving on rainy days specifically to splash pedestrians. That seems pretty red flaggy to me. 3. There was a post of a guy that was angry at his mother because her hobby was to find random people on the net, find everything about them and message them about it. 4. Making fake animal rescue videos. Abusing animals. Hurting and making fun of homeless people for content. 5. Guy who spends hours each week on IG, commenting, liking and DMing random models they never met. 6. Collecting blood slides. My friend had one next to his table next to his AC unit. When I asked him about it, gave me this weird smile and claimed it was for work. I never had beers with him since. 7. If a person is so preoccupied with their social media that this person hasn't his time to actually live and communicate in the moment. It's fine if you can communicate about it and make arrangements. But I am not dating a person in a three-way relationship with Zuckerberg. I would be totally fine with a person that has to have a heavy social media presence for work. But I would want to be able to set boundaries that work for both on us on it. 8. Yay. My sister-in-law talks about influencers as if they are her friend Cyril. I can't have a conversation with her without her taking out her phone and showing me someone she followed before they got famous. It's exhausting and honestly awful to talk with her. Her husband, my brother, has suggested she see a counselor about it and believes she genuinely thinks in her head she knows these people. Edit guys. She's in her late 40s. 9. Family vlogging. Family vlogging completely violates children's privacy. Using kids to shore up your own online presence is not okay. 10. Well, reading the comments, I'm feeling better about my Warhammer collection. 11. Someone reading a ton of philosophy can easily be a very good sign, or a massive red flag depending on what specifically they are reading so much of. 12. Shrines to people lol. When I first met my now late significant other, my son wanted to be sure he wasn't a killer and protect me. We were literally neighbors, so one day we walked to his house and my son said, "Let me see that you don't have pictures up of my mom with X's on them." He thought my son meant picture of his EXS. Nope. My kid just wanted to be sure there was no shrine to me somewhere with my face crossed out by sharp markers. Probably just watched Hey Arnold. 13. Making see-through Lego men with mouse organs inside. People do that. That's fucked up. Specifically, mouse hearts and testicles. I don't remember what sub it was, but I saw a picture of it, and I'm traumatized now. 14. Arguing with strangers on the internet. Not like usual discussions or anything. Just taunting people because you're bored. 15. Met an Uber driver that told me he did taxidermy for fun. Well, not really taxidermy. I just kind of pickle animals' organ and you wouldn't believe the market for it. I've made $35 this month alone. Never been so creeped out in my life. 16. Anything that they can't really afford. Making $50 K but collecting Rolex watches? Red flag. Making $40 K but always buying haute couture fashion items? Red flag. Making any amount of money and into Warhammer? Red flag. 17. Collecting vintage preserved human anatomical specimens. I actually worked with someone who did that. Boy, did I wish I'd never accepted the invite to come over and meet him and his boyfriend's babies. 18. What about those sexual anime figurines? I get liking anime, but when your room is full of jailbait anime girls in bathing suits or lewd poses, there's something not so chill going on there lol. 19. Tennis. Love means nothing to them. 20. If their identity is centered around Disney. Sorry. I said it. I have a cousin who engineered a massive split in the extended family by having her wedding at Disney World in Florida. She expected all the invitees to fly there from around the country and stay at the resort itself, and a bunch of family members opted out entirely because of how expensive it was. She ended up feuding even with the family members who went but stayed at cheaper places in the Orlando area. I was fortunate enough to be too distant a relation to get an invite in the first place. 21. A person whose only definition of having fun is partying and heavy drinking, or end up wasted every time it's out. Emotional issues trying to be covered up. 22. I'm not sure if this counts as a hobby per se, but I can't stand people who get really into astrology. Like, Won't date somebody because Leo and Aquarius signs conflict or whatever. Or judges a person based on their star sign. They're insinuating that there are only 12 different kinds of people personalities based on when they were born within the year. It doesn't make sense. At least with crystals. They make for a nice decoration. 23. Not having a hobby at all is probably up there. Having a hobby or something productive engaging to do in your spare time is pretty important to living a healthy life. If you've met a person with no hobbies, you'll know exactly what I mean. They tend to shit talk when they're bored, can't fully contribute to many types of conversations, and can be boring to talk to because they don't have a whole heck of a lot to talk about. I have a terrible habit of dropping hobbies I pick up, so I go through these motions a lot whenever I don't keep myself busy outside of work. Consuming media can be a great conversation starter, but it's harder to build deeper connections with other people if you don't have any passions of your own to share or relate to. It isn't necessarily a red flag, but it is notable when someone doesn't have a hobby. Edit. I figured I'd mention that I am indeed a boring person. I mention it because I live at Lameo. 24. Funny anecdote. My red flag was my love for growing houseplants in orchard. For that person, that was. Quoting it is like you're a middle-aged woman. 25. Maybe controversial but. Gun people. Some of them are completely normal, well-adjusted individuals. Both my dad and my partner are super into guns, and they're just kind of your average person who happens to know a lot about weapon history. The people I have met in their groups, though, absolutely insane. Delusional wannabe Nazi 20-somethings, and old, wife-beating men who LARP cowboys. 26. As a person who plays video games at least once a day, a red flag is when gaming is the only hobby a person can come up with when pressed. It's not necessarily a huge red flag, but the person definitely is less interesting as a person if literally their only hobby is gaming.